Hello, welcome to a bonus episode of Rediscovered Movies. I'm your host, Nomfanelo Malloy. So, with this episode is the season 5 after show. Wow, can't believe that not only with this season I did 30 episodes, which is the most that I've done in a season thus far. But also, too, the podcast has reached 100 episodes. Wow, that's incredible. And honestly, when I first started my podcast a few years ago, back in 2021 during the pandemic, I honestly never thought that I would have reached this far, but here we are. So which that's just incredible. So I would say doing 30 episodes was a bit of a challenge itself because mainly because of the episode count and all that stuff. But I would say that yeah, it was rewarding to do that many because I wanted to celebrate 100 episodes with this season because I think like for the past few seasons the episode count was was always different, but I would say moving forward, like I'll probably try to do 20 regular episodes per season. um we'll see like if I'm be able to maintain that, but that's the goal. Hopefully, 20 regular episodes and all that stuff moving forward. But yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, celebrating 100 episodes. Fantastic. And yeah, it's just amazing to have a couple guests throughout not just season 5 but also too with the past few seasons because with this season I think the guests, yeah, they've been on the podcast before, mostly from season 4. I was planning originally to have more guests, but fortunately with some I wasn't able to manage just because of scheduling conflicts and all that stuff. There was one guest where they were supposed to appear with me in the faculty episode, but forgot about the recording session. So, and then with that, I had to do on my own. But as the saying goes, the show must go on. And honestly, I did not want to keep pushing scheduling and all that stuff. But yeah, what else did I had? But yeah, want to thank the guests that appeared this season again. I had Khalif. Khalif is always such a joy to record with. Also, too, I had John from Ruined Childhoods podcast. He's always such a delight to record. And I had the opportunity to appear on his podcast for the first time, which is great. We did anorachophobia with that episode. That one was cool. Recommend you guys check that out. I'll leave a link in the description. But yeah, I recorded that one while I was working on this season. So yeah, that one was quite fun. Also, too, in terms of guests, Juliana was fun to, of course, record as always, and Ian, of course, can't forget Ian. It's funny, like with the episodes I did with him, he was not really a fan of the movies, particularly with the class act episode. Check out that episode and you'll know why. But other than that, yeah, he's always fun. Like everyone that I record with were such fun and delight to record with. So yeah, always had a blast with them. With this season, so if you noticed, the theme song is different. Now, you may recognize the theme song that I used for this season because I used it for the bonus episodes. But yeah, I had to change the theme song. I wanted to keep the original theme song that I've used since I believe it was season three, but I had to change it because when I uploaded the episodes from this season to Spotify for Creators, which I use to host the podcast, I got like a copyright claim apparently where I had to change the music and all that stuff. And in a way, I was relieved that I didn't have to change it for the previous episodes that are already published, because otherwise that would have been a headache to do all that. But yeah, that's why the theme song changed for the podcast. Now, I'm considering to changing the theme song for the podcast for season six and onwards. But yeah, we'll see what happens on that front. But yeah, I didn't realize that. Yeah, you get that sort of stuff. But luckily, I didn't have to change for the published episodes, just for the ones that I uploaded with this season. So there's that. Yeah, with the episodes, most of them I've recorded it on my laptop, which was nice. A few of them I had to do on my smartphone, and they were all recorded using Riverside. So, because with the ones on my phone, I would say yeah, they were not bad because I used a different earphones that had like the mic and all this stuff. Because with the last season, season four, with the few episodes I recorded, because I had a different mic that I used, and that was not always the best because the sound was like in and out and all that stuff. But yeah, I would say I managed better in terms of recording on my phone with this season. And a few of the episodes that I recorded, I had to re record. So essentially, with the plan that I did with this season, is that usually I would record the episode, then edit right away. But because I was doing a lot more episodes than usual, I decided to record a bunch and then edit later. And then when I was reviewing footage, yeah, some of the syncing was off, so I had to re-record and all that stuff. But yeah, which at times was frustrating because had to like go through all of those steps again. It was just a few; it wasn't like everything. But but yeah, other than that, was fun to record, even though uh, of the episode count and all that stuff. There's that. In terms of the movies themselves, most of the movies that were covered during the season were ones that I've seen in the past. Most of them, like, I haven't even seen like for years, or in a few cases since I first originally saw it. And the films that I saw for the first time for the podcast were yeah, Sugar Hill, Abby, The Intern, The Dressmaker, The Blackening, and The Class Act. So just reflecting on the films here for the most part, it seems like I don't know if I thought of this consciously, but in a way, it's kind of like going through stuff that I've seen like in my childhood or like in my teens and all that stuff. Because in a way, like with this season, because I'm celebrating 100 episodes, all about celebration, like going through, memories and all that stuff. So maybe I don't know. the thought in my mind when I was selecting the films here. I don't know, but that's what came to mind as I was reflecting on this season. And yeah, so one of the films that I covered, Hustlers, that was not originally in the schedule because originally I was going to cover this movie called I'm Your Woman, which is I believe is an Amazon original movie. It's a fantastic movie. It's with Rachel Brosnahan. It's set in the 70s. It's a crime thriller and all that stuff. I do plan to cover that film eventually at some point in the podcast. I don't know when. But reason why I took that movie out is because when I was going through the list, so essentially with the films, I tried to break them into like themes and all that stuff. And with I'm Your Woman, I felt like it didn't quite fit in comparison to the other crime films that I was covering during this season. So that's why I changed it. But yeah, eventually I do want to cover that movie because I think it's an underrated movie with that one. So stay tuned for that one. Um, what else? I feel like I said what I needed to say in terms of my thoughts on the season, but yeah, usually for the after show, I would do like a Q and A and all that stuff, but I'm deciding I'm going to do a separate episode for that one. So if you do have questions, if you're listening to this now, like get them in as soon as possible because the Q&A episode is going to be right after this episode. But if you're not able, but if you did have a question and if the Q&A episode already came out, I'll answer your question at some point. But yeah, that's it in terms of thoughts. But I do find it interesting. So one of the movies that I covered, Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. So I did mention in that episode that I think there have been talks of a sequel, but nothing materialized at the point that I was, at least at the time that I recorded the episode. And and then I saw the news of the sequel. So apparently, as of the time of this recording, they started filming the sequel for Romy and Michelle. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one and curious what's going to happen with the sequel because seems like with some of the cast members outside of Mira Sorvino and Lisa Kudrow, it looks like some from the first movie are coming back, but yeah, curious how that one is going to turn out. Let's see here. I'm trying to see anything else in terms of my notes. I think that's all that I wanted to share. So, with the next episode will be the Q&A episode. So, if you have your questions for that, send them right away. So, um, you can find me on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Linktree at Numpy Malloy. You can find the podcast on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Linktree at RD Movies Pod. You can support the podcast via donation on buymeacoffee.com/RD Movies Pod. Join the Rediscovered Movies Hub, which is our like community group. Think of it as like a Discord if you're familiar with that platform. So the website for that is rdmoviespod.wixsite.com/official. There you can interact with others, share your thoughts on the podcast, and more. On Spotify, you can answer the feature poll, leave a comment, and rate the podcast. On Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, and Podchaser, you can leave a review and rate the podcast. And you can submit questions, comments, and suggestions by email, which is rediscoveredmovies@gmail.com, or you can fill out the contact form on our link tree at rdmoviespod. So, I want to say thank you for tuning in to this bonus episode of the podcast. Stay tuned for the season 5 Q.